All businesses in Maine have to struggle with the natural ups and downs of the business cycles. But the marine trades and boat building sector is a bit unique in that they've been managing these business cycles for centuries in Maine, before they were even called business cycles. Here to help us understand how the current economic downturn has impacted the marine trades industry and discuss their business strategies for surviving it and maybe even how they plan to position themselves for the growth on the upside are Tuesday Woodworth, CFO of Morris Yachts in Bass Harbor, Maine, Todd French, President of French and Webb Boats in Belfast, Maine, and Susan Howland, CFO of Wayfair Marine in Camden, Maine. Welcome. Thanks for being here today. Great. I want to start off with some facts about the boat building industry. These are from the Maine Built Boats website, just so the viewers will have a sense of this industry. The annual industry sales top $650 million. There are approximately 450 companies and 5,000 jobs are tied to the Maine boat building and marine trades industry. Boat building is a significant and growing business sector in Maine. Maine's boat building heritage spans 4 centuries, and Maine is a world leader in maritime use of composite technology. So that's kind of the big 30,000 square foot view of it all, I guess. One thing, I want to talk about the economy, though, and talk about how it's impacting your businesses right now. Let me start off with another quickie quote here. This is from Susan Swanton, the executive, you all know Susan, of course, the executive director of the Maine Marine Trade Association. It was in the Boston.com in May. She said, quote, "There are some pockets, I wouldn't say of wealth, but maybe of health, where some companies are hanging on, but there are some sad stories out there to be heard and told." So, tell me your story, I guess, is why we have you here. So how is it going? How's the recession impacting your boat building and your marina and refit industries? Jump in. Let's start with Todd. How about you?
Well, I think we're one of the pockets that have been healthy through this beginning of this cycle. But we were fortunate to have some good contracts that were followed through on this year. One of which was kind of an exciting green boat called a diesel-electric launch, a 30-foot launch with solar panels made out of carbon fiber. And that we're hoping to finish by the end of the summer. We've had some great publicity from our launches last year of 3 traditional Herreshoffs that we were able to build on some more restoration projects. But I have to say the phones have kind of stopped ringing a little bit for work in the fall. Yep,
we're going to get to that phone question too. Yeah. So Tuesday, how about you? How about more shots?
Similar to Todd, the boat building industry lags a little bit, so we don't feel the beginning part of the recession.
Because you had orders already established.
Exactly,
okay.
and if there's an 8 or a 10-month build, then you're not going to feel it. And we were fortunate enough to have some sales through last summer and the fall that have taken us through to now, but again, now we're feeling it as well. We also had the benefit of a couple of new models coming out this year, which might give us a little bit of a bump as far as public relations and just getting the word out there. We launched a M29, part of our M series in January and February, and then we just launched our M52, which is brand new. So
some great pictures of that, by the way.
Yeah, it's
beautiful boat.
It's beautiful. Getting a lot of interest, but again, we're getting decent inquiries, but it's slow.
Susan, yours is a little bit of a different story. You're not building boats; you're maintaining them, storing them as a full-service marina and refits.
That's right. That's right.
So.
We had a fairly solid winter. We had some cancellations and some pullback of work where customers skimmed down their work lists, perhaps not canceling altogether, but definitely skimming them down to more of the need to have repairs. Looking ahead, we have certainly see some struggle for the remainder of the year, but we just secured a major refit that will begin in September. And we had a really successful launch this spring of a 78-foot yongirt that we refit.
What was that?
Named Kamuna.
Good.
And she was a beautiful refit, new teak decks and paint, mechanical systems, electronic systems, and she's out sailing the Pacific for the next year and doing well.
Good.
So.
Okay. Did you have enough work to maintain your current staffing? Did you have to do layoffs, or where are you all with that?
We at French and Webb, we did not have to have any layoffs
as
of yet, and we've kept everyone's benefit levels there. I wouldn't say that we're looking at a lot of raises.
Right.
But no, we've been really fortunate to
How
keep
many
the crew
employees?
going. We have 16.
Okay. Susan, how about you?
Unfortunately, we've not.
Yep. You're a bigger company, though.
We're a bigger company. We've never been in the habit of overstaffing to get us through a hump and then laying people off. We hire people for good when we hire them, and unfortunately we've, over the past year, probably a little over 30 we've had to lay off.
Really?
Some overhead.
What's your total now?
We're at about 88,
Okay.
and
Great.
it's been extremely difficult.
Sure. How about with you?
We had some layoffs this winter, some temporary for a short period of time, and then we're able to bring them back on once the launching season started. But some of our cancellations were rather large, and we did have to skim down on some employees. We have just under 50 now.
What are you doing to cut costs, to diversify? How are you surviving? Keep going with that.
We're really looking at ways to decrease our overhead expense and trying to keep the focus on the jobs and keeping the crew employed.
What's an example of one thing you've cut down?
One thing we've done is implemented a wage freeze for 2009. Okay. We've skimmed back on overtime for this year, overtime expense, and really trying to limit our non-billable hours.
We've had to kind of diversify, not just working on boats. We're doing a lot of architectural work now, and some for some past clients who we've gained.
Fine woodworking kind of thing?
Yeah, we're actually building, believe it or not, a kitchen for a client for a house he's restoring in Finland.
Well, your 16 employees, I bet, appreciate that.
Yeah, they do.
Keep it going. Whatever we got to do.
So I definitely think it's a scrappy time right now, and we're going to be have to look at different avenues of work to keep everyone employed.
Okay.
At those priceless billable hours.
All right. Susan, about you, what kind of things?
We have done similar to both Wayfair and French and Webb. We have probably cut a little more on the benefit side. We had to stop the 401k match. We actually had a pay cut across the board, everybody in the company. Very difficult. We've eliminated every service. We clean our own bathrooms. We clean our own offices. We do all the landscaping.
I want to ask one final question, and we'll talk about more of these strategies on the web. But I wanted to ask you, because we got a lot of our policymakers, elected officials, believe it or not, they actually watch this show. You watching out there? What would you want to tell them right now? State and federal, what are the kind of things they should be paying attention to help this industry that's so important to Maine survive this recession and flourish? Real quick, what do you think, Todd?
Well, I guess I would say up in front of the legislature right now is the sales tax issue, which I know is all dear to our hearts. But if you look at the competition in the New England states, especially Rhode Island, where they have no sales tax on the services that are happening within the marine industry, I've actually seen customers of mine pull their boats from the state because of this onerous
sales tax.
I mean, if you look at a great custom home, a second home being built in Maine here, you're only taxed on the materials, not on the labor. If you look at a luxury item like a yacht, you're taxed on the whole nut.
I'm going to have to wrap there, but my guess is you would support that.
Todd stole my thunder.
Okay.
That's my.
I thought so.
That's my baby. LD 659.
Okay.
It's coming back in January in appropriations.
Okay, good.
It's so important.
To learn more about the Maine Marine Trade Association, go to mainemarinetrade.com. Also, check out Maine Built Boats promotional strategies at mainbuiltboats.com. Stay tuned for a glimpse of the future when we go out and about with Maine Biz to Maine 2024 Forum.
Maine Biz Sunday is made possible in part by funding provided by the Finance Authority of Maine and the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development.